What was the Cuban reaction to the Platt Amendment? Have you ever wondered how a single amendment could shape the course of a nation's history? The Cuban reaction to the Platt Amendment was overwhelmingly negative and filled with resentment. This amendment was imposed by the United States in 1901 as a condition for the withdrawal of U.S. troops after the Spanish-American War. It severely restricted Cuba's sovereignty and independence. Many Cubans felt that, instead of achieving true independence, they had merely exchanged Spanish domination for American control. The Platt Amendment limited Cuba's ability to make treaties with other nations and restricted its public debt. It also granted the United States the right to intervene in Cuban affairs whenever it deemed necessary to preserve Cuban independence or maintain order. Additionally, it allowed the United States to establish and maintain a naval base at Guantanamo Bay. These provisions were viewed by Cubans as an infringement on their national dignity and self-governance. Cuban leaders and citizens pointed out the hypocrisy of the U.S. position. They compared the amendment to a situation where American colonists would have accepted similar control by a foreign power, which they would have rejected outright. Despite this strong opposition, Cuba was pressured into accepting the amendment as part of its constitution. The United States made it clear that it would not withdraw its troops until Cuba agreed to the terms. This coercion left many Cubans feeling that their independence was compromised. Once the Platt Amendment was incorporated into the Cuban Constitution, the United States withdrew its troops, and Cuba became formally independent in 1902. However, the terms of the amendment continued to fuel Cuban nationalist resentment and anti-American sentiment for decades. Many Cubans viewed the amendment as a symbol of neocolonialism and a denial of their full sovereignty. This resentment contributed to political instability in Cuba and was a factor in the eventual rise of leaders who opposed U.S. influence. This culminated in the Cuban Revolution of 1959. From a Latin cultural perspective, the Platt Amendment is often remembered as a moment when the promise of independence was undermined by external control. It reflects broader themes of Latin America's struggles against foreign intervention and the desire for true self-determination.